This is a subject which is a timber-based subject. The students make generally one piece of furniture for the year. As you see the example here behind me, there's one of this year's students making this one, intends it to be a chair for himself to have at home. He's built in some shelving into the armrest of the chair, and he intends to have a padded seat and backrest there, so it should be quite comfortable. Other students make things like desks to have at home to use if they don't have a study desk. Students make bookcases, cabinets of various sorts. Pretty much anything that you can think of to make you should be able to do. The one proviso is it has a functional purpose. Can't be just a purely decorative object. And it has to be of a certain degree of complexity because it is a VC subject. But we go through all that with designs and things with the students at the start of the year to sort that out. So in addition to making the practical piece, students must also produce a folio of support material that goes with it. And the folio should be quite comprehensive. It needs to have a written statement of what the project is about and planning work in it, research the student does into other examples of similar products to what they want to make, what sort of handles they might use, colours they might use, and then various drawings with detailed notes about how they intend to make the product. And then various other written components, more detailed drawings, planning, and then a record of the actual production process itself, showing how they made it, what they did at different stages, what they did to minimise dangers or risks. I mean, any time using these hand tools, there's always some element of risk. So students have to do a report on how they avoided risk or minimise the chance of risk. So that's the basic content of the subject. Then other than that, we have a couple of three written assignments that need to be done, and the 3 written assignments plus the folio plus the finished piece, that's the assessment for the course. There's not a lot of difference between the Unit 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 course. It's essentially very similar. So if you have not done it in Units 1 and 2 in Year 11 or Year 10, you can do Units 3 and 4. There's a little bit of catching up to do, but not very much. The only thing is, of course, that perhaps you might not be as experienced as the other students, but most students pick that up really quite quickly. So it's not essential to have done it at Units 1 and 2, and most students catch up very quickly with Unit 3 and 4. Careers that the subject leads into, you're looking at things like cabinet making, building construction, anything of that sort, but also industrial design, drafting, architectural drafting, any of those sort of careers which are based around design, drawing up plans, understanding plans, and being able to move from a set of plans to a finished product, any of those sort of professions, that's the sort of thing you would be looking at doing. Again, for the same reason, the sort of subjects which go well with this subject are other design-based subjects. So visual communication and design goes very well with product design technology, but so studio arts, media studies, any of those sort of subjects which are about design and producing a finished product from the designs, they would all suit one another there, and they would all lead into a similar sort of group of careers later on. There is a subject levy that covers use of timber, or cost of timber, screws, basic doorknobs or things like that for handles. It is the case of students, if they want to use particularly expensive handles or things, they may have to buy that themselves. Generally speaking though, we do our best to cover everything from the levy, and most of the time we get through with just what we've covered with the levy. So but you need to check that to see what is, because it varies a little bit from year to year. There is a textbook that students need to purchase. There is an exam at the end of the year, and the textbook is invaluable for preparing for the examination, and it also helps to explain things that are needed for different sections of the folios that the students need to produce as well. We use the same textbook in units 1, 2, 3 and 4. So purchasing the textbook, if you're doing units 1 and 2, purchasing then you will have that textbook for at least for the whole 2 years if you do this subject 1, 2, 3 and 4. And hopefully be able to sell it second hand unless they bring out new editions. And I think that covers pretty much everything. It's an enjoyable subject to do if you like to design and make things. It's most of the time in class is spent actually making something, which is an enjoyable thing to do. There is theory, but it's less than you would find in a non-practical subject. So it's quite a nice sort of relief in the day. If you come in, you've got double period of product design technology. It's quite a nice way to spend a 2-hour session, and at the end of it you get to take home your piece of work that you've made yourself, and which hopefully is a unique piece and a nicely made thing to have. Thank you.